welcome back. I want to get the back doors for Pengo painted and also for Spy Hunter so that I can get those out of there. That car is supposed to be coming today. A huge pile of snow just fell off the roof right in the driveway, so it's literally as tall as me. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to move that or not. But anyways, I want to get these painted. Like Pengo, the back doors are in perfect shape. They need just to be sanded down and a light coat of single stage black paint put on. The Spy Hunter, it's got a couple nicks out of the corners, and I think what we're going to do with that is just use a little bit of that fiberglass reinforced filler. It's just these top two corners here and here. So I think we're just going to put a little bit of fiberglass reinforced filler on each side and then sand it down and then get this painted as well. This is not going to be getting all banged up and stuff like that. We might put a screw in it just to strengthen up the corners. Somebody obviously had screwed the door onto the cabinet, which is very common. And if you notice from the factory, they actually had put screw holes here and here in the middle because these doors over time would bow. And when they would bow, the interlock switch would not engage all the way, so the game wouldn't turn on. So the factory put holes there for screws in the center, just to prevent that. So on the back side here, we're not going to do anything with the back side of this. It's pretty good. Little tiny bit of nicking there, but I'm not going to mess with that. We'll just wipe it off and leave it as is. Still has the original plastic pouch on it where the manual would have went. So what I need to do is I need to take off this lock cylinder. I'm going to leave the piece of metal on the back that holds the lock from spinning. Since I'm not painting the back of the cabinet, I'm not going to worry about that. So we just need to get the lock cylinder itself out. Now, this still has the keys for the back door, which is good because I just need to get a new arm for the edge here. So this flathead screw will come out, and then I just got to get a new arm that'll work. And I think I have some of these. So I want to save this lock so I can put it back on the cabinet. I don't know if this is the original lock or not that came on the game. I mean, it says Fort Lock from Illinois. I don't know, Chicago, Illinois. I don't know if that's what they used or not, but I want to get this short strand fiberglass on this first, so then we can sand those other two doors down. But before I do that, let me grab that upper Pengo door, and we'll take the lock cylinder out of this one as well. Save the metal on the back. We're not going to mess with it. The backs of these doors are in perfect shape. There's a little notch right here on the one side. This is where the power wire comes out of the cabinet. That's from the factory like that. Now I had to drill this lock out, so we don't have a key for this. So we'll have to put a new lock cylinder in here. So this one's garbage. So, all right, let me flip this Spy Hunter door over, and I'm going to show you how we're going to fix that the quick and easy way. If it were, you know, a structural part of the cabinet, I would probably maybe use a little bit of fiberglass resin, but like I said, nobody's really going to be messing with this. So what I want to do is, it's not even that bad. Let me think how I want to do this. I don't know if I want to put a screw in it because I might just damage it more. So I think we're just going to pack some fiberglass in there. All right, let me think about this for a second. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, if you look here, you can see how this is rabbited out, so it's got like a notch, okay? Well, obviously this chip is only on the top thinner part. So when I put some reinforced fiberglass filler on here, it's going to glob down and be all the way down there, and then I got to figure out how to clean this groove back out. So what I'm going to do is take some paint sticks and some masking tape, and we are going to take a paint stick, we're going to put some masking tape on it, just like that. We're going to stick it on the bottom side of this groove, and we're going to clamp it. Now, when I go to put my filler in there, it's only going to be at the top part. It's not going to interfere. I grabbed some crappy clamps, but it's not going to get into that groove. Okay, there's one. Might have to go grab a different clamp. Can't get this one to spin. Maybe I can on the vise. I use these to weld on cars, so sometimes welding splatter gets in the clamps and screws it up. Okay, so now that we have those on there, now we know that our filler is not going to get down into that bottom rabbit groove. So we're going to mix up a little bit of short strand fiberglass. And then while that is curing, we can sand the Pengo doors with 180 grit. Actually, yeah, 180 grit will be fine. So we're using the Bondo brand short strand fiberglass, and it does get a blue hardener. We don't need a lot of it, just enough to get those two corners filled in. Oops, a little bit too much hardener, but that's okay. We'll just dry a little bit harder. You gotta be careful. You don't want to put too much hardener in filler, because you can over harden filler and cause it to turn into brittle, where it will literally fall apart on you. But this isn't too bad. Hopefully I mixed up enough. I'm trying to pack it in there really good, build my corner back. I'm going to have to mix up a little bit more. So I'm going to mix up a tiny bit more and fill that in a little bit more. Then I'm going to let it sit for a good half an hour or so. And then we will sand it down. Okay, so while the Spy Hunter back door is drying, we're going to just sand both of these down real quick with 180 grit. And then I'm going to take a little bit of tape and just cover up this edge here. Maybe I'll cover all the edges, I'm not sure yet. as you can see how quick that went. Now I'm just going to get some tape and tape off. I don't want to get paint on this edge here. I'm not going to worry about these sides, just this plywood edge, and there's a little piece of metal. Same thing with that plywood edge. And then these two are ready for, we're going to put down an epoxy primer first, and then we're going to put down 2 coats of a satin black single stage paint over top. Okay, so that just needs blowing off, and that's ready. And then the same thing with this one. Now most people won't take these off. They just, I guess, just don't think about it, but I like to try to keep it as original looking as possible. And originally, that piece of wood was not painted. So all right, Pengo doors are ready. I'm gonna let the other one, the Spy Hunter door, dry for a little bit, and then we will get this thing sanded down, which it's already drying pretty good. It's getting close. Actually, to be honest with you, now would probably be a good time to take off the wood while it's still a little bit tacky, so that the paint stick comes off, just like that. So now the back side of this is perfectly flush. I'll show it to you. See, now we don't have to recreate that groove because of the paint sticks. Okay, I think I can sand that down with the 180 grit I already have on the sander, so I'm gonna give that a try first. Okay, now this is particle board, just like the sides of the cabinet. So you got to be careful when you're sanding it because you can blow the particle board out. If you noticed, I was sanding it this direction, so the sander was spinning this way. Okay, so that means that the sander was spinning down towards the floor, and that's what keeps this edge from chipping. If I'd have spun the sander this way, the sander would have been coming up towards me and ripping all this particle board up and chipping it all the way down. So you got to keep in mind which way you want to do that, you know, which way to do that so that you don't screw up and cause yourself more work than you need to. There's a couple little scratches here. I'm not worried about that. Once I put a couple coats of paint and everything, that's pretty much hide. So I just need to blow off these 3 doors and then they're ready to go in the spray booth. And like I said, we're gonna put down an epoxy primer first, 1 coat, and then 2 coats of satin black. And I'm gonna show you the whole process. This is not gonna be a real long video. So I'm just gonna show the painting part and everything without fast forwarding anything. Okay, I'm gonna mix up some epoxy primer here. It's made by Speedy Coat. You can use it as a primer and a sealer. We're gonna use it as a sealer. It's a 4-to-1 mix, and we're gonna add 20% reducer, and that's gonna thin it out so that it's more like a sealer rather than an epoxy primer. And then we are going to put a coat on the 3 doors, and then 2 coats of a satin single stage black, which I should have in here. I'll have to look for it. It's around here somewhere. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this mixed up. We're gonna go out there. I already blew the doors off and everything, so they're ready. Alright, if you're wondering what dripped, that was a little bit of lacquer thinner from the gun washing cabinet, which isn't a big deal. It evaporates right away. Now we're going to mix up this single stage satin black. This is by Summit Racing. It's a single stage. This is satin. They make it in flat satin and I think matte finish, and then gloss, obviously. This is just a 4-to-1 mix, 4 parts paint, 1 part hardener. So we're going to mix up this. We're going to put a couple good coats on those doors. So I'm going to go ahead and get this mixed up, and we're going to go out there and get the first coat put on. Now, because this is a satin finish and not gloss, I'm using a medium hardener, which is going to dry faster, especially because it's 90 degrees in the spray booth right now. So with 90-degree temperature and a medium dry hardener, it's going to dry really fast for me. So I should be able to just put a couple coats on all in one shot without having to wait. And then it'll dry probably within the hour, and I can get them out of here. guys, they're drying still. I have other parts in the spray booth. I'm working on some car parts, but you can see it's still a little shiny, but you can see how it's drying. They look fine. Still have the wood texture, which is what it was originally, so that's all we're going for, is just try to make it look original. Obviously it'll dull up as it dries more. So that's going to end this video. Nothing crazy. We got the back door done for Spy Hunter and for Pengo. So now the only back door that needs to be done is for Journey, and I'm still waiting on artwork for Journey, so I haven't really done anything with it yet, but I need to get that thing finished up. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Any questions or comments, feel free to ask. Please hit the thumbs up if you wouldn't mind. If you know anybody that's interested in this kind of stuff, please share my videos. I would really greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. It just lets you know when new videos post, which I probably post about 4 to 5 videos per week. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys later.